I've been to Disneyland Paris 7 times now, so you could say that I've had my fair chance to learn about the parks, understand the parks, learn the rides, the attractions, the parades. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all the things that you cannot miss if you're going to Disneyland Paris. But if you're new here, hello, my name's Ash. I used to be a Disneyland Paris annual pass holder. That was a mouthful. But I aim to bring you Disneyland Paris vlogs, tips, tricks, guides, things like that pretty much every week. If that sounds like your type of thing, please do consider subscribing. Anyway, let's get into the video. I quickly want to start by saying that I'm only covering Disneyland Park in this video. I won't be covering the Disney Village. I won't be covering Walt Disney Studios. All right, so the first thing that you can't miss it is Big Thunder Mountain. This is by far one of the most popular rides in Disneyland Paris, but it is for good reason. The story of Big Thunder Mountain links back to Frontierland, which links back to Phantom Manor. The whole story of Frontierland for Disneyland Paris is crazy. I definitely need to make a video about that, but the roller coaster itself is so much fun. So the roller coaster itself features a drop which takes you under the lake and onto an island, which is the only Big Thunder Mountain to do that. It's also, to my knowledge, the fastest Big Thunder Mountain, like out there. I'd still say it's definitely super family friendly as far as coasters go, but it is so much fun. And it's definitely one of those rides that if you want to build yourself up to the bigger ones, I would really suggest you go on. My biggest tip to get on Big Thunder Mountain if you don't want to queue too long is either Premier Access it and pay for it, or use Extra Magic Time if you're staying on site. Extra Magic Time, which I'm going to make a full video about, is like an hour in the morning for hotel guests where you get to go into the park without general admission. So like regular park tickets can't get in, it's just hotel guests. The amount of times I've been on Big Thunder Mountain during Extra Magic Time and either not queued or queued at most 10 minutes has been like insane, and I do it every single trip. Moving on, if you're going at the end of August, like right now, up until the end of September, you have to see Dream and Shine Brighter. This is a parade they're doing for the 30th anniversary and it ends at the end of September. It takes place down Main Street and right up to Central Plaza, and it is just magnificent in every single way. It's a huge celebration with pyrotechnics and dancers and characters and the best songs. Ready for the Ride has been stuck in my head since March last year. The atmosphere is just so good as well. You want to arrive about 30 minutes before the show starts, and I would suggest seeing it twice. The first time you see it, you absolutely have to stand on Central Plaza. On Central Plaza, there's like 4 stages. If you can get kind of between them to a certain point, like there's areas that are sectioned off for you to stand. If you can stand closest to the middle, you're going to be able to see like literally every single thing. All the characters move stages, they all go around, the dancers go around, like it's so much fun. But all the characters walk up between the stages, onto the stages, they all rotate, it's just so much fun, it's so good. And if you want to watch it a second time, I would highly suggest watching it on Main Street. That way you can get super close to all the action and you can really see the dancers do their thing down Main Street, it's so good. The songs are good, the energy is so infectious, it's literally like a 10 out of 10. I would also suggest, really suggest it, downloading the Disneyland Paris app, because that's going to have all of your show times. All of them. Okay, my next thing is to meet some characters. I know this isn't everyone's thing, and I know that when I first started going to Disneyland Paris, I didn't really want to meet the characters all too much, and then I met them and I became a character person. And some of my best memories have been meeting like Winnie the Pooh and Stitch and Tigger and Eeyore. Oh my god, I met Eeyore and Rabbit once, and that was just like my heart just melted. Once again, you can find all their meet and greet spots on the Disneyland Paris app, so just download it. Just get it. There's also quite a lot of characters who don't have scheduled meet and greet spots. What I would suggest in that case is following ED92 on Twitter, or X now. I can't keep up with the whole list, I'm too old. But what ED92 is like a reporter type thing. Like there's reporters who like work for them or something. I don't know. I think they're just annual pass holders, like Disneyland fans, who literally every single day will post unscheduled meet and greet spots. Like turn them notifications on, because then you will not miss them. Like ED92 is like top tier. A super underrated tip is to make use of the arcades on either side of Main Street. You've got one on the left and one on the right. I did that backwards so that it makes sense to you. You're welcome. These are 2 arcades that run parallel to Main Street and they're undercover. So what you can do is you can either go down Liberty Arcade, which is on the left, or Discovery Arcade, which is on the right. These make for an amazing opportunity to skip the queues and the crowds on Main Street. A lot of the times when a parade happens, people will follow the parade up Main Street. So if you go down to the arcades, you're not going to have much of that, and you're going to get in or out really quick. Like I said, these are a lifesaver when the parade's on, but they're also amazing when it's too hot. Because don't get me wrong, like it's the north of France, but when we went in June, it was like spicy. It was so warm, and they definitely offer you a little bit of shade. Also in the winter, they're not as cold because you don't have that breeze. So if you're walking down there, it's a nice little bit to get out the cold. Go get a hot chocolate. There is seating in there as well, like little benches every so often. Grab a beignet, grab a hot chocolate, and just soak in the atmosphere. Magic Kingdom in Florida needs them, like I'm convinced. Because imagine that in air conditioning. Oh, I did briefly mention hot chocolates and snacks. Disneyland Paris has stepped up its snack game so much. Like so much. From my first trip in 2016 to when I went in March in 2022, the difference in snacks is insane. They've just leveled up astronomically. You're spoiled for choice nowadays, but like personal favourites, Mickey beignet. You can't beat a Disneyland Paris hot chocolate. There is also the chicken bites from Café de la Brousse, which are like crispy chicken. I will be honest, the chicken's not like Michelin star chicken, but fried, crispy, hot, fluffy, just unreal. Café de la Brousse also do pineapple whip, which isn't Dole Whip, but it's similar, and that's new. So I would really suggest trying that if you're into that. They now serve it in a waffle cone, like a waffle bucket basically, with like the big pineapple whip in it. It's delicious. Once again, Mickey shaped food. You can't go to Disneyland Paris without getting Mickey shaped food, I'm sorry. There's like quite a good amount of Mickey shaped food nowadays. You can get the Mickey Mouse beignets, which come with Nutella or apricot jam. I need to try the apricot ones at some point. You can also get Mickey pizzas from Colonel Happy's Outpost in Adventureland or Bella Notte in Fantasyland. And also there's quite a few places that sell Mickey waffles as well. So if you're into like cute little Mickey Mouse things, which who isn't, just get some Mickey shaped food. If you're looking for a little bit more of a swanky experience, go to Silver Spur Steakhouse. This is probably my favorite table service restaurant in Disneyland Paris. The service here is worth the price of the food alone. The service that we had when we went was so incredible. The food was good. And I will be honest, it is kind of expensive because it's a theme park, it's Disney, you're paying that premium. But the level of service we had there was 10 out of 10, the best restaurant service I've ever had. Okay, sorry, my camera just overheated because it's that warm. So on the menu, you can either just get a starter and a main, or you can get like full 3 courses with a dessert. You can't choose a la carte at this restaurant, which is kind of frustrating, but also like probably works out cheaper having like a set menu. If you're gonna get a starter, which I think you have to, get the kidney bean soup. My boyfriend Ben does not stop talking about this soup to this day. It is an incredible soup. Delicious. It's so good. And if you're going in the autumn or the winter, it's just like the most hearty, delicious soup in the world. And I would go back to Disneyland Paris just for that soup, to be honest. Moving on though, Disneyland Paris does have so many options for adults. Now, I personally haven't been here, but I've heard nothing but good things, and that is the Skyline Bar at the Art of Marvel Hotel. I haven't stayed there either, but I've heard incredible things. The bar's themed like you're inside a skyscraper looking out over New York City, and sometimes you can see Spider-Man like swinging across on his little webs. I definitely want to pop in next time I'm back in Disneyland Paris, even though I don't drink that much, but you can't stop me because I'm at Disney. I'm going to post a video soon actually about bars and restaurants and like all of them, so if that sounds like you want to stick around for that, do consider subscribing. I'm not going to force you. Do it. Another thing that is unique to Disneyland Paris is there's a dragon under the castle. If you make your way to the left of the castle, there's like this big cave entrance, and right deep in that cave there is this huge animatronic dragon, which is just incredible. And it's like shackled up laid in like a pool of green, steaming hot water. It's really, really impressive. And I don't think pictures and videos really do it justice, so I'd really suggest doing that. And last but not least, Disneyland Paris has so many good rides, but the one that turned me into a fan and was like, I need to go back with my boyfriend, is Pirates of the Caribbean. I know it might seem like, why, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, like, whatever. This is one of the first rides that I did, and I was so blown away by how incredibly well themed it is. There's 2 very small drops, I will warn you, but they're not like huge, massive, like big ones. They're very, very small. But the theming from start to finish is top notch. And in my opinion, it offers what I consider to be the best dark ride experience at Disneyland Paris. In my opinion, it beats Snow White and Peter Pan and Pinocchio. Like, it's just phenomenal in terms of the dark rides. Sure, it's not the most, thrilling ride, but visually it is just like so immersive. Anyway, those are a list of things that I really suggest you do on your next Disneyland Paris trip. If you liked the video or you learned something new, make sure you subscribe down below and let me know if you're going on holiday soon, if you're going to Disney. I'm very jealous if you are, because I'm not going back to Disneyland Paris now for like a year, maybe 2, so I want to go back. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.